Oh, hey, good morning, good afternoon, everybody, depending on which part of this beautiful country that you're in. You're watching Rebel Roundup, Rebel News' daily news and opinion show. It's Tuesday, and she is back. It is my real life best friend from Regina, Saskatchewan, Lise Merle, back from vacation. Lise, how are you? I missed you.
Oh, well, thank you, Sheila Gunn. Reid, I missed you too. I missed this a lot. I'm coming back a little bit feral. I spent just enough time away to lose track of the days and what was sort of going on in the world, only to get jerked back this last weekend by a tragic story out of Saskatchewan. But aside from that, it's just great to be back. Thanks for having me.
You came back to the economy burning down
Yes,
because of supply management and Doug Ford's booze ban, basically.
true story, true story. But nothing has really changed, is it?
Mm-mm.
Nothing has really changed, is it? Because this is the same conversation we've been having for the last one calendar year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll be getting into it in the show a little bit later. We have some great topics coming up, so can't wait to get into
Yes.
it.
Yes. I'll tell everybody what we're doing around here, how they can get involved in the show. If you're watching us on Rumble, that's an excellent free speech platform. If you want to have your say and support the work that we do, might I suggest a Rumble rant? That's their paid chat over there. If it's over the $5 US cutoff, we're reading it on air. If it's under that, we'll do our very best, time permitting. Same rules apply over on YouTube, but there's an additional way that you can support us over there, and that's a paid comment called a super thanks. So the paid chat is a super chat. Paid comment is called a super thanks, and that works if you missed the live version of the show, but you're just so glad to see Lise back in the co-host chair that you feel just moved by the spirit to leave a paid comment. And we ask you this because we'll never take a penny from the government to do the
That's right.
work that we do to hold them to account. Let's get into it. By the way, Lise, you missed it yesterday. I saw that video of Justin Trudeau waddling with Katy Perry, and my estrogen levels plummeted and my bones got brittle. I went right through menopause in like 20 seconds and came out the other side. It was so horrible. I couldn't watch it.
It,
Um,
yeah,
look
oh,
at
it
no
is.
more.
He is fully. That is not that. That is a saunter. That is a sachet. Look at him, just not a care in the world. And let's just everybody focus on the fact that like the majority of Canadians think this guy should be in jail. And
Right.
look at him. It's just so maddening. It's just so maddening to have to watch. He still conjures the worst emotions. He just still does.
I watched that video more times than I care to admit, and every
Mhm.
single time I hated it more, and it had a more adverse effect
Yes.
on
Um, I will tell
my
you
sex
though.
drive.
Yeah. My overall fertility, my
Gone.
fertility tanked watching that video.
Blah.
No, yeah, this is why young people should not watch videos of Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry, to be completely honest. But let me assure you guys that the breakup, when these guys break up, it will be worth all of these videos that we are forced to watch of these two buffoons. Because
David
go
Menzies
ahead.
sorry to interrupt you. David
Yeah.
Menzies speculates it's a relationship of convenience for the Nepo baby musician.
1
Okay.
billion percent. David Menzies is on my train of thought, and which is excellent. No, I see this as a PR move. His dad, Justin Trudeau's dad, got into a high-profile relationship with Barbara Streisand post his breakup from Justin Trudeau's mom. This
Yep.
is a playbook that they follow that we are all just being forced to consume via, the tabloid press in the United States following Katy Perry.
You were going to remark about the future breakup.
Oh, the future breakup is going to be spectacular. I mean, it's going to follow the exact same path as every celebrity breakup. It's going to come with, so right now, we are in the absolute love bomb stage of their relationship where their life is a honeymoon, man. Like they're living their best lives together. But when two vapid, soulless people get together, okay, it's never going to result in anything good ever. And this is what we have in this relationship. When they break up, there's going to be a carefully crafted announcement by somebody's publicist that says, they're because of their hectic schedules and because of their, you know, families,
Right.
their
Yeah.
other families, that they've chosen to go their separate ways. And of course, then we can look back on this and say, of course, it was contrived. Of course, it was.
Right.
for for
Convenient.
for publicity's sake. Listen, this is a guy that has an image problem.
Yeah,
He screwed an entire country and now he gets Katy Perry. I mean,
yeah,
it's all just almost too much. But I love it. This is my wheelhouse. Pop culture is
yeah.
my wheelhouse. And so I can't wait to see this relationship go down in flames. I just can't wait.
And I hate pop culture, so you're like my safari guide
Hmm.
on
Hmm.
these things.
Can lead you through
Okay,
it.
let's talk about what happened yesterday. Trump retaliated against Canada's ban, and when I say Canada, I don't mean Alberta or Saskatchewan, the ban on US booze and dairy tariffs and protectionism with the
Mhm.
50% tariff on Canadian goods. And he signed a new executive order on this yesterday. Um, and Alberta and Saskatchewan are not doing this booze ban thing. The dairy quota system and inbound tariffs on American dairy products have been a bone of contention for the Americans for a very long time,
Yep.
but specifically citing Doug Ford's little stunt with the booze, which, by the way, I was sort of wondering how much is this costing? Like, we know it's going to cost billions now. Very good,
Right.
Doug. Very good. But what is it costing the people of Ontario? They've got $80 million in unsold liquor, I think it is. No, I think it's been $80 million to store it. Um, and nearly another $80 million worth of unsold liquor,
Oh.
plus about $13 million in spoilage, I think it was. Like, this is an
Oh.
enormous, but in the grand scheme of things, but just put it on the shelf, Doug,
As I
because
live and breathe,
this
I
is
did not
putting
know
our
that
economy
alcohol.
down.
Yeah, no, as I live and breathe, I did not know that alcohol could spoil.
How
Like, I
could
just
you?
thought that
How
it
could
was,
you?
I just thought that it was shelf stable. But no, this is an indictment of the government of Canada's mishandling of this trade dispute. That's what it is. And it just goes to show you the provinces need the autonomy to be able to operate by themselves and negotiate their own pieces of CUSMA. Because if we left it up to Doug Ford, okay, Doug Ford, who runs his mouth in front of lecterns, embarrasses us on the world stage and antagonizes
Yeah,
our main
antagonizes.
trading partner, we're going to be screwed forever. We're going to be screwed forever. The response of Premier Scott Moe in Saskatchewan is quite something. Sheila, do you want to talk about that?
Sure. Go, you lead.
So do we have video of this, Olivia? Because
I'll look while you explain.
oh,
Oh,
okay,
we do. Okay, let's go.
here we go.
So you don't want to fight. I'll go stand.
I want a trade agreement with the United States of America. They're our largest trading partner, have been for all of our life, yours and I's, and likely will be into the future. At the end of the day, why would you want to fight with your largest trading partner, regardless of what they're saying? We need this trade agreement.
The end. We need
Yes.
this trade agreement. I hate the way she introed the question. Oh, so your elbows down? Labeling him as some sort. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
the positioning of the question was poor, but his response was bang on. Why would we get in a fight with our largest trading partner? The one thing that does concern me is the way that he said they'll likely be our largest trading partner for the foreseeable future. No, Scott, they will be, like, for sure, because we don't change that geography. But his approach, he's the adult in the room with a bunch of children. That's
Right.
that's how that comes off. Like, Uncle Scott for the win on this one.
We've got also Doug Ford. Even now that you are getting the Canadian economy writ large, save for basically Alberta Energy, which only has a 10% tariff. Doug Ford said he's not willing to back down on the LCBO ban on American booze. He says whether it's electricity or alcohol, Ontario is always taking the lead. Yeah, but where are you leading everybody? Into economic
Destitution.
crisis.
Yes, into destitution. Do we have video of? Yeah, here we go.
Here, let's watch.
The administration in the U.S. and Congress people writing these letters and blaming us and so on and so forth, right? You don't get on and start threatening and criticizing, because guess what? One day it's going to be your turn. And we're going to be down there without hesitation to support our neighbors, which we should be. But all the rhetoric going on there, and it's not from all Americans. I'll tell you, Americans love Canadians, and we Canadians love Americans. But to make the comments they did through the administration unacceptable. The administration.
Their response to you, Doug, is unacceptable. Doug, had you not done what you did, there would have been no response from the administration. What part of this does Doug not understand?
And he's gone on CNN Monday, maybe it was Sunday, and just ran his mouth about this sort of stuff. He was talking about the fires, which I just want to remark on in a second, but I've dug up the numbers. I want to clarify myself. I want to show you, and this is not a small amount of money, but in the grand scheme of things, this is a very small amount of money to harm the entire Canadian economy. We're talking ag, we're talking forestry, mining, automobiles, manufacturing, cement, everything. So Ontario has spent $8 million storing American alcohol removed from the LCBO shelves. That's just warehousing this. Just 8, though. Another $2.6 million worth of it has already expired. Total American inventory and storage is approximately $80 million. So we're looking at about $90 million in a booze fight is going to damage the entire Canadian economy. That and the dairy cartel.
That is what it looks like from here. Yeah. Yeah. Doug Ford is saying, I'm going to die on this hill. This is the hill that I'm going to die on.
But that's fine, but he's murdering the rest of us.
Exactly. He doesn't care to think about, the hill is built on jobs that he's killing. And he's doing this to the people predominantly of Ontario, but for the rest of the country as well. I think that there's still such a strong anti-American sentiment
it's crazy.
Amongst the elbows uppers that it's getting to the point of delusion. Like he thinks he can win picking a fight with the world's superpower.
Yeah.
Good luck, Doug. Good luck.
We've got this from the rapid response account for the Trump administration. Over the past year and a half, only 2 countries have chosen to retaliate against President Trump's tariffs rather than negotiate a deal with the United States: the People's Republic of China and Canada. It's true. You think you're going to be a middle power and middle power your way to economic prosperity? You just can't. We have the world's largest economy on the world's longest undefended border, a long-standing cultural and economic and military relationship with them. Why aren't the appropriate efforts being put into fixing this? I want to see how many times Dominic LeBlanc has met with U.S. officials.
Well, and it seems there are reports that allude to the fact that the Canadians are not showing up when they're invited. So Canadians are not showing up when Mexico is there. Mexico is also part of this, and the Canadians aren't showing up when meetings are happening and when important discussions are being had. How come? What is our government so busy doing that they can't make it to the United States to figure this out for Canadian industry? It's embarrassing.
And then naturally, the Alberta NDP, Naheed Nenshi, he says, despite Danielle Smith prioritizing her relationship with the Trump administration, they just announced 50% tariffs on Canadian exports. Albertans are paying the price while she puts her political interests first. This seems to forget the fact that Danielle Smith ingratiated herself to the Trump administration nearly instantly, as well as the Western Republican governors. She went down to Mar-a-Lago. She met with Trump officials. She spoke on Republican podcasts, because that's where you go to speak to Republicans. You don't go on CNN, Doug Ford. You can go speak to Wolf Blitzer if you're trying to convince the Trump administration of anything. She went down there, and you know what Alberta got? A 10% tariff.
A great deal.
Yeah. Like, I think it's 90% of Alberta's exports I think Ezra tweeted this morning. I relied on this and I went to Stats Canada to prove it. But I think 90% of Alberta's exports go to the United States.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we go and try to fix the relationship or to differentiate ourselves from the lunatics in Ottawa?
Yes, show some diplomacy. Show some diplomacy. Danielle Smith, contrary to what Naheed Nenshi believes, Danielle Smith has shown the pathway to success in working with this administration across the border. If the federal government and the other provincial premiers had any interest in repairing the relationship with the United States, they would follow her lead. But instead, she is attacked as some sort of turncoat or traitor, or how would they describe her? As some sort of right-wing extremist for doing her job.
Right.
For doing her job.
She protected our economy from the East's tariffs that I feel like they've sort of earned these days by constantly fighting with the United States. Energy is exempt in these tariffs. We only, in the first round of tariffs, it was a 10% tariff, largely symbolic because they already buy our oil at a discount. Why? That's not the Americans' fault. It's Canada's fault. We can't get an export pipeline, so we have to sell at a discount to them. But when 90% of our exports go to the Americans and Trump is threatening tariffs, absolutely she did the right thing by fostering a positive relationship with the Americans as opposed to fighting with them. And look what all the fighting got you.
Yes, exactly this. Exactly this. No, Danielle Smith, if Danielle Smith were in charge of negotiating Canada's part of the government of Canada's failure in this, we would be in a lot better position.
Right. Right. If the Laurentian elites were really interested in fixing this with the United States, they wouldn't have their lefty stacked panel of, people who are meant to deal with the United States. They would have enlisted Danielle Smith, Jamil Javani, based on his relationship with the vice president.
David Knightleg, add him.
Add David Knightleg because of his experience, and then maybe Mr. Wonderful.
Yes.
What's his face from Dragon's Den?
Kevin O'Leary.
Kevin O'Leary always seems to be at Mar-a-Lago. Instead, they put the anti-Trump lady on the negotiating team.
I saw one photo of her, and I just said, "Oh, the Americans are going to be not impressed."
One look at her social media, and they would have been like, "They put the wrong dragon on the panel," is what I'm saying.
They really did.
Let's see. Scott Moe cautions politicians. Scott Moe, being the level-headed dad in the room here, he cautions politicians against using inflammatory rhetoric to win a war on social media. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of clicks from the elbows up boomers, but you're also going to get tariffs. And your job is to protect the economy in the jurisdiction that you're in.
So how do you see a path forward here with a partner like the United States that acts as if the international order doesn't exist and agreements that are signed in good faith don't hold up?
It's a challenging time. And I would say that I would go back to, there's going to be many words, and I've said this many times, there's going to be much rhetoric that comes out of not only the White House, but various members of the administration there as well. And you'll see some rhetoric coming from Canada in this negotiation as well. We need to set that aside, and we need to stay focused on what the ultimate goal is here. The goal isn't to win some sort of a war on social media or a war of words on social media, or even to one up when it comes to whatever the policy or the rhetoric of the day is. The goal here is actually for us to have that renewed, reviewed CUSMA agreement moving forward. That is a goal for Canadians, and I would say that largely when you set the administration aside, that is a goal for Americans as well. These tariffs are doing nothing for the affordability for the common American family across that nation. administration. And they're doing nothing for the cost of doing business for all sizes of business, medium, small businesses in the United States of America. And we see that in our nation as well, most certainly. So the goal is to have a reviewed and renewed CUSMA arrangement. And so we need to set aside some of what's on social media. We need to set aside as, I think, subnational and ultimately as national negotiators that are at the table and negotiate a reviewed deal. The path forward and the conclusion of all of this isn't going to happen on social media. And it isn't, in fairness, going to happen in the public sphere. It's going to happen at the negotiating table. And that's why my advice to the federal government, and I'll be bringing that to all the tables that I have the opportunity to be a part of over the next few days, is for Ambassador Wiseman, Janice Charest. We have a good negotiating team there led by Dominic LeBlanc, is to engage ambitiously and vigorously with this U.S. administration, because at the end of the day, they need a renewed agreement as well. And we need to realize that. They need a renewed agreement as well. And in fact, as we look into the future, they need to do more trade. They need to bring in more products, both ways, in fairness, from Canada into the U.S. When we talk about energy security in the U.S. and in Canada, it is going to mean that we're going to be producing more energy products across this nation, providing them to our allies in the U.S. and other allies around the world. We need to increase the level of oil production we have. We need to make it available, yes, on the West Coast to nations around the world, but we also are going to have to produce more oil to make it available to American families and an American industry as well. We're doing that in the nuclear industry. We see 2 uranium mines in Saskatchewan that have full provincial and national approvals. One more has all the provincial approvals, and I suspect in the not too distant future we'll have all of the national approvals. To put that in perspective, we have 2 operating uranium mines in the province now, and we're about to bring 3 more on. That's the level of ambition that Canada has right now in providing energy security to our allies. And I would say that regardless of who's in the White House today, the trade relationship that we have with the United States of America is much larger than one gentleman.
Okay, I'm going to take a side. I'm just going to set his compliments for Dominic LeBlanc on the shelf. I'm going to ignore those.
Yeah,
I'm going to ignore them entirely. But he is right in that things will be said on social media from the Trump administration, from Trump administration officials. Don't take it personally. Don't decide that a war of egos is somehow more important than fixing the economy. And I think that's the right approach. Yeah. Trump is a showman. He's the reality TV president. Wow. And so he says things, and it might hurt your feelings. Suck it up. Get a trade deal done.
That should be the singular focus. And yeah, what he said there, there was nothing he said there that was controversial nor untrue. Okay, it was a perfectly, I think it was perfectly positioned to move forward in this trade dispute. But I just would point out that it's not just social media that sort of complicates these things. It's the actual media
for sure
that complicates these things, because Doug Ford doesn't get up in front of lecterns with all of those microphones and be able to say whatever he wants to damage things without the complicit and obedient nature of the mainstream media in Canada. So yeah. I would just like to point that out. I do like that Scott Moe is talking about how social media impacts these things, and I think that we should be talking more about that. How political people use social media in this world.
Arlene Dickinson, that's who she is. The lady. Yes, Arlene Dickinson.
No, unsufferable, red hair, unsufferable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. She's on the Prime Minister's. Yeah, super lib. She's on the Prime Minister's Council on Canada-U.S. Relations. You should not appoint people with derangement to these things. You should appoint people with good relationships with the Americans.
That's right. Yes.
Send Michelle Rempel. Send Rempel. She doesn't fight with them. She married one.
I put her on the dream team, the Kuzma dream team of negotiators. I put Scott Moe on it. I put Scott Moe on it.
Yeah.
This is his wheelhouse. Like, he loves talking about the economy. You saw it in that last piece.
Yeah.
It's the thing he's most familiar with and most confident speaking about, for sure. Put him on that team, please. Thank you.
I just want to read out the people on here on the Council on Canada-US Relations, and then ask yourself why our relationship with the Americans has devolved to such a manner. I forget who Tabitha Bull is. Jean Charest's on it. Arlene Dickinson's on it. David McNaughton's on it. Rachel Notley is on it.
Oh, Lord.
Brian Topp is on it. And Flavio Volpe, who's also like auto union guy. Like, it's just a bunch of NDP Looney Tunes who burned down the economies of the provinces that they ran or attempted to, and failed politicians. I suppose Jean Charest was his attempt at bipartisanship. And then like Arlene Dickinson, Trump derangement multimillionaire who lives in Canada. No wonder this thing has gotten as bad as it is.
No kidding. That explains a lot, doesn't it? That explains a lot.
Yes. All right. Let's see what's happening in BC on this, because their softwood lumber industry is about to tank. We've got David Eby. He says that he and Doug Ford, they're brothers from another mother on this. Let's watch.
I think Doug and I are of a similar mind on this issue. The one way to embolden a bully is to capitulate, and I don't think we should embolden Mr. Trump, who clearly is a bully. I think.
Enough with this self-victimization. And if only there was something somebody could do, David Eby, Premier of British Columbia, maybe stop getting up at lecterns and calling the leader of our nearest and most important trading partner a bully.
Yeah, don't call him names.
Don't do that. Like, stop doing that. It's not good for the relationship. It's just not. It's hashed itself out. It's been proven. And your approach is awful and hurting the people of British Columbia.
Can we just admit that the approach that the Canadians have taken has failed? Can we just admit that now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this adversarial, confrontational, name-calling BS with Donald Trump, who largely bases his foreign policy around, do I like ya? Or don't I like ya? Try to be likable. Don't call the guy names. Like, you can stand your ground and hold your position and earn some respect without devolving into name calling. Listen to Scott Moe, David Eby. Listen to Scott Moe.
Use that as an example, David Eby.
Yeah.
Don't call the person you need to say yes names in public. It's not good for negotiations.
David Eby. It sounds like he's admitting defeat, although he says he's not going to capitulate to a bully. So I don't know where he's at on this. He's a very melancholy, but he's also very generally melancholy. So I don't know what we're getting here. But he says the United States, their market size is irreplaceable. Okay, so fix it.
Confirmed. It is irreplaceable. They are going to be our biggest traded partner forever. Because we can't change the geography.
Right.
David Eby. So maybe start trying to do better.
Right. Be better. Look at him. He's so, I don't know. He's silly. Trombone. He's like gray, silly putty of a man.
I'm not sure how the federal government reaches an agreement with an administration that, as far as I can tell, isn't talking to them. I don't see that the Americans have been engaging with Canada in trade conversations in any meaningful way. And so if the Americans come to the table to have a true discussion, I think that the federal government should absolutely be there. The Prime Minister and his team should be there. But if the Americans don't want to talk and they want to impose tariffs like this, then all of our energy should be going to other places. The United States is a huge market that is impossible for Canada to replace. But at the end of the day, if they don't want Canadian goods, if they don't like Canada, there's not a lot we can do about that. So let's focus our energy on the places that are really excited to trade with us and build up and take this generational opportunity so that our kids are not put in the same situation of being too dependent on the United States. I'm not sure how.
What is he even talking about? First of all, well, if they don't like us, then what are we supposed to do about it? I don't know. Quit calling them names.
Like,
Get rid of the booze tariffs. Like Trump, it literally gave you a roadmap for what you're supposed to do.
the defeatist, downtrodden victimhood that we just saw out of David Eby. Well, there's nothing we can do. Just all looks bad. May as well give up. Try and replace him somehow. I don't know. Like, that's what that was. British Columbia, you are arguably one of the most beautiful places on the planet. And you have the most negative Nelly on planet Earth representing you on the world stage. Get somebody in there that's proud of British Columbia and that believes that you can do amazing things with your neighbors next door in America.
Yeah. Yeah. An incredible amount of Americans visit British Columbia. You know, like
the crossover is huge.
There's points of the United States that you can only access through BC. Like, get it together.
Yes.
Like, just get it together. Trump literally showed you what you need to do to fix this. Dairy cartel, big X. Booze ban, big X. Start there. Show Trump you're willing to move on things and he'll move too. But no, you're like, what can we do? I guess we're going to trade with the UK. Okay, thanks, Premier Eeyore. Could you like do something?
Yes. Anything other than this defeatist attitude. But at the same time, he's saying he's sort of giving the government of Canada an out. Well, I don't know how the government of Canada is expected to deal with these, you know, these people south of the border. They're just being so unreasonable. David Eby, shut up.
Yeah,
shut up. No, better yet, British Columbia, vote somebody else for premier. Okay, that's how we solve this problem. But it's embarrassing. It's really quite embarrassing.
Wouldn't it be great to have a Western bloc of premiers? And I'm including Curry Dixon in this, like Scott Moe, Danielle Smith, Carrie Lynn Findley, and of course, Yukon Premier. A Western bloc of premiers who didn't hate the Americans, who didn't say outlandish things and defeatist things about the Americans. Could
you imagine we could just grow? Could you imagine how we could just grow? Do you like the social safety net could be refunded and works properly again. Our healthcare system could work properly again. Our education system, all of the things that plague us, our infrastructure could be paid for. And yet we're being held hostage by a bunch of left-wing lunatics that say, no, success is not the option. The only thing that we can do here is more government dependence.
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right.
Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
Yep. So this next clip is from Dane Lloyd. And I talked to David Menzies about this yesterday on the show. He asked me how I feel about Dane Lloyd, conservative MP from the Edmonton area, greater Edmonton area, from one of the suburbs. And he's been appointed by Pierre Poilievre to be the point person on dealing with Western separatism. He's the sort of leader of the federalist movement of the Conservative Party of Canada. And I prefaced it by saying, I like Dane Lloyd. He's a good guy.
Fine.
Veteran, fine fellow. Good on gun rights. Great on the Jasper Wildfiring Committee. Great on free speech. I disagree with him on this. And I should point out, his position actually disagrees with a large portion of the Conservative Party membership here in the West. However, I am not going to get all Forever Canada crazy on him. He's a good enough guy. I like him as an MP. He's great on the issues I care about. He's wrong on this thing, so I'm going to leave her be. And nobody should be surprised that the Federalist Conservative Party, where the leader wants to be the prime minister of this country, has taken a federalist position, especially since the party can't win ever again without Alberta or Saskatchewan for that matter. So, of course, they're going to come out on the federalist side. Does that mean we need to make enemies of our friends? No. So my advice to everybody in the independence movement was, who cares? Literally, who cares?
Who cares what they say? We get to have opinions that differ from theirs on this one issue, and we can do that. We can agree on many, many other things. We can also disagree on many, many other
Yeah.
things. It's a conversation worth having, though.
Yeah.
And I believe that the conservatives could be doing a lot better job making those inroads.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. But like that, the conservatives have sent Dane Lloyd to, I don't know, be the separatist whisperer. Who cares? That doesn't mean anything in the work that the independence movement is doing to get over the hump on October 19th. Let them send everybody. Let them send Stephen Harper for all I care. I don't care. Like, I don't, what does that got to do with me? I got signs to give out, right?
That's right.
So anyway, Dane Lloyd said he doesn't think the referendum will be successful. Well, again, what else is he going to say? Is he going to go on like CBC and say, you know what? I think those guys, they're going to win. We should all be very scared. Like, I don't, what else is, nothing here is surprising, but I see my friends in the independence movement are very angry at Dane. And I'm like, I couldn't care less his opinion on this.
Okay.
I don't think the referendum will be successful. I live in a rural riding west of Edmonton. It's exactly the kind of communities that people would say this is going to be a hotbed for separatist activity. But I can tell you, when I'm going through Spruce Grove and Parkland County and Stony Plain and Drayton Valley, the amount of Canadian flags that I'm seeing, we always had Canadian flags flying
from the dollar
in many
store,
houses,
Jane?
but the amount of Canadian flags I'm seeing flying is more than I've ever seen before. Canada Day, the amount of patriots that came out to my barbecues and to the Spruce Grove and other barbecues.
Holiday.
Canadians are patriotic. You know,
food.
we might have, you know, on the separatists are talking about some of the issues that we've had with Ottawa, and we can agree that there are problems, but we'll never agree on the solution. And the solution is not to break up Canada. I don't.
Okay, well, disagree.
You know what?
Like, respectfully,
respectfully disagree. I also respectfully disagree on your position that Drayton Valley, of all places, is federalist.
We went to, guys, people, you guys, viewers, me and Sheila Gunn Reid spent some quality time in Drayton Valley this last winter, and we can confirm that they got more people out for their independence thing than the conservatives had maybe ever. Yes, and maybe ever. And please let us not confuse dollar store decorations for a long holiday for the future of the province of Alberta. That is a very poor indicator. You know, Dane, that they give those flags away for free in front of Canada Day. You know that those communities get funding from Heritage Canada to celebrate Canada Day, okay? Which makes everybody that goes to those things free in the doors. Okay, that's how were you able to pay for your barbecue, Dane? Okay, how? You offered people free food and cheap decorations and they came, and nobody is surprised. But is there an appetite for Alberta independence in rural Alberta? Absolutely, yes. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of like, Dane, you are dangerously disconnected from your own constituents here. Dane, be careful.
I was in Drayton Valley last week handing out signs, and I ran out of signs. I thought I'll take, 50 or so to Drayton Valley. I was out of signs by the time I came home. So, I don't think so, Dane, especially Drayton Valley. Drayton Valley is an oil patch town. It's sort of the hub of drilling and services for drilling on the eastern slopes.
It is a beautiful part of Alberta. It is just truly spectacular. Yes, please go on.
Yeah, and they were absolutely decimated by the NDP and Trudeau. And they have scarcely recovered. It could be a boom town again. It just isn't, thanks to the obstructionism from the federal Liberals. Spruce Grove and area, Stony Plain and area, these are places that were absolutely hit hard by the early coal shutdown in this province. And even if you see a Canadian flag, so what? The majority of Western separatists don't hate Canada. We regret what it's coming, and we're doing our best to insulate ourselves from that.
Yeah.
We don't have any ill will against our fellow Canadians. In fact, I have a great deal of pity for you. And what Canada once was, we believe still lives here, at least for now. And so what we're doing is an act of survival and almost like an attempt to protect those Canadian values that we don't really see reflected anywhere else anymore. So yeah, you might see a separatist with a Canadian flag. Doesn't mean anything.
Yep, no, it really doesn't. And just further to this point, I think the Conservatives have to be really, really careful about who they say is a Conservative and what they say they want. Like, although their their response is entirely predictable, what else can they say? They must be very careful not to alienate the huge overlap of people who are interested in exploring Alberta independence and those that are members of the Conservative Party or would lean Conservative during an election. This is a party that absolutely cannot afford to lose again.
Right.
So try doing less loser things.
Yeah.
That's my advice. It's my advice. Don't do loser things so much. Try and win. Okay?
Yeah. And you know what, Dane Lloyd, and I say this with the greatest of affection, because I do like Dane. He's a great MP. But I'm coming to Stony Plain, and I'm coming to Spruce Grove, and I'm going to give out lawn signs. Okay?
And
that's what I'm going to do.
Of the neighbors. We're going to, and you know what? Sheila's not going to have to lure them with federal funding from Heritage
Or
Canada.
free
She's not going to have to lure them with free decorations or little, tattoos or, little activities. She's going to say, I've got signs, and if you're interested in showing your neighbors that you're down for this too, come pick up and get one. And she's gonna sell out. So not sell out, but run out of signs. Excuse me, is what I was saying.
Yeah.
So comparing apples to oranges, the support that independence is receiving, also in Saskatchewan, we are so keenly watching what's happening in Alberta right now, because we know that our future is entirely dependent on what happens in October. So all of this to say, Conservatives need to manage this really, really well.
Yes. Let's hit an ad break, come back on the other side. We'll talk about the crash in Regina and then the reason why people came to Dane Lloyd's Canada Day barbecue. Could have something to do with 32% more for tomatoes, like food inflation. Anyways, we'll hit an ad break. I've got a couple of ad reads. We'll come back on the other side.
Canada's been told to just quit smoking for decades, same message over and over, and yet millions of Canadians still smoke. So let's ask a follow-up question. For those who don't quit, what about change? In 2026, Canada has options that didn't exist years ago. Smoke-free alternatives for adults who would otherwise continue smoking. That doesn't mean risk-free, it means informed choice. If you don't smoke, don't start. If you smoke, quit. But for those who don't quit, change could still be part of the conversation. That's why Canadians should check out unsmoke.ca, an information resource focused on smoke-free alternatives and honest facts, not judgment. Put the lighter down, Canada. Learn what your options are.
In Canada, firearms owners like me understand the importance of safe, effective self-defense options. That's why we're proud to have Byrna as a sponsor. Byrna's less lethal launchers are designed to help protect you and your family without taking a life. Byrna offers peace of mind, accessibility, and a practical layer of personal security for Canadians who value safety. Learn more at byrna.ca/rebel. That's byrna.ca/rebel.
For generations, many Canadians have preserved more than just firearms.
Many of our men and women
They've preserved history, tradition, competition, memories. But under Trudeau, and now Carney, heirlooms, estates, collectibles, and competition firearms now have to be surrendered and destroyed. While violent gun criminals get pass after pass, openly ignoring any legislation, lawful gun owners are trapped in an increasingly unfair legal system. But we can help. Canada's National Firearms Association's Save Firearms program offers the legal pathway to preserve what matters, while we work towards a political solution. Don't let yours be next. Save history, save heritage, save firearms. Visit nfa.ca today to learn more.
Hi, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. My best-selling paperback launched a few months ago. Now the ebook version is finally here. Independence Blueprint, What Alberta Can Learn from Quebec, is officially available for download. Before Quebec's 1995 referendum, Quebecers didn't just argue emotionally about separation. They asked practical questions about what came next. What happens to pensions, currency, trade with the rest of Canada, borders, citizenship, Indigenous relations, debt sharing, and even international recognition. And unlike what we're currently seeing in Alberta, Quebec actually created commissions, held hearings, heard expert testimony, and worked through those questions completely in public. That's what this book is about. Independence Blueprint digs into the serious groundwork Quebec did before its referendum and explores what Alberta can learn from that process today, whether you support independence, greater autonomy, or simply want to understand where this conversation is headed. Because if Alberta is going to have this debate, and we are, it should be an informed one, not just whatever panic-driven talking points the CBC throws together to terrorize you over the dinner hour. Download the ebook today at independenceblueprint.com. All right, welcome back. We've got a quick ad read from our friends at Pure Health Research. We have a second ad read later on in the show, but this helps us pay the bills because, as I said off the top of the show, no money from the government, and I think it shows. If you want to drop extra pounds, boost energy levels, or reduce swelling in your legs and feet, then this message is for you. Pure Health Research is on a mission to make America healthy again, and two of their best-selling health supplements are leading the way. First, Liver Health Formula. Over 100 million Americans have a sluggish liver riddled with fatty deposits. This can kill your metabolism, pile on the pounds. Liver Health Formula takes care of that. It supports thriving liver health with special nutrients like artichoke extract and milk thistle. This is one of the easiest ways to slim down and revitalize your energy levels. Next is lymph system support. If you struggle with fluid buildup or swelling in your legs, ankles, or feet, this is for you. I need that before I get on an airplane. Natural ingredients in lymph system support help gently flush extra fluids and toxins out of your body. And right now, for a limited time, you can get 35% off Liver Health Formula and lymph system support, along with 50 plus health supplements Pure Health Research has to offer. Head over to purehealthresearch.com. Use the coupon code REBEL at checkout. That's purehealthresearch.com with coupon code REBEL to save 35% on your order today. That's a good deal. Pardon me. I'm having a cough attack. All right. Pardon me. All right. We've got, I'll actually let you take the lead on this. Crash on Highway 11 in near Regina and Lumsden. And it claimed the life of a high-profile person.
Oh, did it ever? So Saskatchewan was faced with an absolutely tragic situation with a double fatality highway accident on Highway 11, just north of Regina, going towards the Lumsden Hill. And what makes this story so remarkable is that the two young men who were killed. First of all, the story sort of broke on Just Bins with eyewitness accounts like the one you just saw, with people posting videos of being in the traffic lineup because, of course, traffic stopped and was backed up for kilometers down the highway. But what makes the story remarkable was that the two young men that were killed, one of them was Saskatchewan Rough Rider team captain Jaden Delkey from Leduc, Alberta. And the other one was an immigrant named Bhishma Rajaguru from India. A GoFundMe has been established to return his remains to his family back in India. And it turns out that Saskatchewan Rough Rider team captain Jaden Delkey was driving the wrong way down the number 11 highway. So it was a wrong way head-on collision. First responders in Saskatchewan, I say this all the time, we are home to the most helpful and hospitable and generous people on planet Earth. The people that were on the roadway immediately behind the accident stopped to offer medical help. They were the first responders, the bystanders to this, before even the police or the volunteer fire department from Lumsden was able to get to the scene. They tried to assist these two young men. But the RCMP did something. A bunch of this story sort of came trickling out, that the Co-op gas station in Lumsden had a gas theft is how it was sort of positioned. A guy with Alberta plates matching the description that the RCMP seems to have confirmed was Jaden Delkey, left without paying for gas in Lumsden, Saskatchewan, and then sometime later was in this head-on collision. There was construction area. It's a complicated highway with lots of access points, places to maybe get what we know that he got on the highway and was driving in the wrong direction when this crash happened. I'm in touch with people from Leduc who tell me that Jaden Delkey's family was maybe not their family, maybe I shouldn't say that, but people that were involved are quite disappointed that the RCMP released information that there was alcohol and cannabis inside the vehicle. They stressed that it was their wish that the toxicology results come back first. Another part of this story was that the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, there was a leak to the media from the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, is what's been reported, that Jaden Delkey had passed away in the accident. Now, when we saw this on Saturday evening, this happened at 9 o'clock, sight lines, the time of day would have all played contributing factors into this. The RCMP is obviously investigating. But the theory that I've heard that makes the most sense was that he forgot to pay for gas, because in Alberta, you have to prepay for gas. In Saskatchewan, this is not the case.
Yeah.
And it is being theorized that he realized he forgot to pay for his gas and was returning to the gas station to settle up his mistake. This more than makes sense.
Sure.
When he would not have, coming from Alberta, he would have just got, and we're going to wait for the toxicology results to come back. But all of this to say is that Saskatchewan is still grieving from another roadway accident, the Humboldt Broncos crash, where an immigrant was also involved in that crash as well. Saskatchewan has a long history of trying to work through situations like this, and a lot of grace for both families must be had, because at the end of the day, there are two families that are extraordinarily in the lowest depths of grief that a family could be experiencing. They're experiencing it for the same reason. They both lost sons. And thoughts and prayers to all of the people that were impacted by this event. It's very sad.
Speaking of another sad thing out of Alberta, I should have talked about this earlier in the week on Monday, but it behooves us to use our reach to do something here. So, little fella named Parker, missing from Calgary since the 16th. He's autistic. He left from a daycare. He's 11 years old. He's 4'11". Those are his pictures there. He's 90 pounds. He was last seeing noise-canceling headphones, likely because he's autistic, and sometimes the overstimulation gets to these little guys. He was last seen at Connaught Drive Northwest in Calgary between 11:08 and 11:41 a.m. They found his clothing at Northmount Drive. This is just like any parent's worst nightmare, but particularly if you have an autistic child.
This is like worst case scenario. Absolutely unfathomable worry happening in their family right now and within the community. And because we do know that the time elapsed from a disappearance to recovery
5 days now. 5 days, and the weekend was blazing hot, like blazing hot in Calgary.
Okay.
Um,
You know, though, human nature is resilient. Human nature is resilient, and we're just
Yeah.
going to pray for his safe return. Again, if you're in Calgary, in walkable distance of where he was last seen, you need to look in here it is. You need to look in
So
your sheds, your play structures, your storage, your
Everything.
utility rooms, everywhere for this little guy. He
Yeah.
could very well just be hiding. Okay, he
Yeah.
could very well just be hiding and overwhelmed and scared.
Right,
And
he's got a habit of going into homes and locking doors behind him, so check your sheds. Their last known sighting of him was about an hour and a bit after he first disappeared. I think they have the
and they're looking for
CCTV clip.
They're looking for, and they are actively looking for dash cam and doorbell cam videos.
Yeah, this is the last of him.
Okay.
And this was like close to 1 o'clock on the very same day.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh.
But they found his clothes, and that is
it's cause for concern. It's a cause for concern for sure. But obviously our thoughts and prayers. And if you're the praying kind, please say one for the family of this boy. They must just be beside themselves.
And I should tell you that if you need motivation, and you shouldn't, by the way, Brett Wilson says those who will find him will enjoy a meaningful reward. And he said not that Calgarians need to be paid to help a child in need, but a thank you is okay, and a retweet.
You know, one of the things, we were in Cold Lake, just on this story, we were in Cold Lake this last weekend. 6 of our family members went for the Cold Lake Air Show to see the last performance of the Canadian snowbirds that we're going to see in quite some time. But the way that the Amber Alert or the augmented Amber Alert came out to us in Cold Lake was over days and days. Okay. So I got the alert first. Several hours later, my husband got the alert. And then it was wild. And as we were leaving Cold Lake on Sunday is when the last Amber Alerts came in. So is that system working as it's intended is my question. I saw a bunch of people complaining, oh, I was in Lloydminster and got a Amber Alert. Listen, if that was your autistic kid, you would want everybody in the province to be on a lookout too. I'm just saying that a text-based emergency alert for a child that you can't click a link to and see, that you can't, and that was delivered to our devices over the course of days, I don't think is working the way it's supposed to be intended. And anybody in Canada that's received an emergency alert, whether it be for weather, whether it be for a missing person, whether it be for whatever, knows that these alerts are meant to get your attention.
Yeah.
But I think that they're not giving the right kind of information and in the time that it's needed. So
I got my Amber Alert on Saturday. I was handing out lawn signs.
Did you?
Saturday morning.
And your phone goes off?
My phone went off. Actually, everybody, all of our phones went off at once in Okotoks.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's not sent out in waves, like
or proximal.
Yes.
I don't know.
Because that could be too, because we were in Cold Lake. How far is Cold Lake away from Calgary? 6 hours?
6 hours, yeah.
6 hours north. So maybe that had something to do with it too. But in any case, W. Brett Wilson, what a gem.
Yeah. What a good guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's just an absolute parent's worst nightmare. Let's see.
We're just praying for his safe return.
Let's see what we can hit on the headliners here. Tim Hortons. Okay, Tim Hortons, they're back at her. Georgina Coffee Shop in Tim Hortons cited over food safety violations during inspection. Now, normally I don't care about local food safety violations, but I've got a grudge with Tim Hortons.
Got a little bone to pick.
BoycottTims.com. Also, we have a new coffee blend because it's not enough for us to tell you to boycott coffee. We got to offer you a solution. Much like Lise in her book, Buck the Rainbow Unicorn. It's not enough to tell people that you got to get these creepy books away from kids. You have to give them an alternative. We're doing that with our Rebel Coffee. I think it's rebelcoffee.com.
Amazing.
What's the URL? Yeah, we did it in collaboration with our friends at Resistance Coffee.
Amazing. I love those guys.
Me
love
too.
the guys from Resistance Coffee. They do some rad social media posts too. Like if you don't follow Resistance Coffee on the internet, go follow them immediately. Oh, but this is amazing.
Yes.
I can't wait to bundle this into my van. The Rebel Coffee into my van.
Ezra says it's delicious, genuinely. Like, not just spitefully delicious, right? Because we're selling coffee while boycotting a coffee chain that has banished us.
Spiteful caffeine. I like this. I actually do like this.
He actually said it's legitimately great. So York Regional Public Health Inspectors charged a Georgina restaurant during a recent inspection. It was the only York Region business cited for Health Protection and Promotion Act violations during the week of July 13th to 19th. Tim Hortons, in case you're in the area, just so you know, located at Sutton area at 20954 Dalton Road, was inspected July 14th. It was charged with failure to protect against the breeding of pests, failure to provide adequate protection against the entrance of pests, failure to ensure floors are kept clean and in good repair. Anyways, just so you know.
Show me the bathroom. That's all I want to see. Show me the bathroom.
I don't want to see the bathroom. I don't.
Absolutely do want to see. That's how you judge it. That's how you judge a restaurant. It's like, how clean are the bathrooms? Okay, now apply that standard to the kitchen. That's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
True story.
Actually, I like the open concept kitchens of the McDonald's, like the new McDonald's now, where I can see into the kitchen, see my food being made, see potentially the staff touching their faces. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't touch your face. But I like seeing that just so I know what I'm dealing with. I think it keeps everybody on the up and up. You're constantly aware that you're being watched, like you're working in an aquarium. I think it's good for everybody.
Yes.
Gives confidence.
Agreed. Yep.
In case you're wondering, Dean Lloyd, if you're watching, why people came out to your Canada Day barbecue, it's not necessarily because they're pro-Canada. It's because we can't afford food in this country. Canadians paid 32% more for tomatoes in June. Here's what to know about the StatsCan inflation report. I hate those sorts of headlines. Grocery inflation increased more than overall inflation for the 17th consecutive month in June. While the cost of food purchased from stores grew at a slower pace, only 4%, then in May, 4.3%, Canada's grocery price inflation has outpaced headline inflation since February of 2025, driven by lower gasoline prices at the pump. The inflation rate eased to 2.8% in June after a 3.2% increase in May. Anyway, it's at the grocery store, fresh fruit prices were 1.7%. Dry, fresh, or pasta actually declined. There were some price drops in like seafood and stuff.
Prawns. Hey guys, great news. Prawns are down.
Prawns have come down.
3.8%.
You guys, I'm pleased to report that caviar has come down in price.
Anybody know the going rate for a bottle of Dom Perignon?
Exactly.
Anybody?
Exactly.
Like this is the result of failed Liberal NDP policies, right?
Who can afford that stuff to start with?
Exactly this. When you have to decide between feeding yourself and paying rent, that's problematic. But this is endemic of their management of our supply chain, right? This is indicative of the failure of their management of our supply chain. You add on top of that carbon taxes, regulatory burden, transportation costs. And this is why Canadians are paying so much for food at the grocery store. Like, all of us know this. What we got 5 years ago, it doesn't even hold a candle to what we get now. You know what I mean?
I got to tell you about the real food now that the prawns and shrimp are off the Barbie.
Sure.
We've got fresh or frozen chicken up nearly 6%. Bread, rolls, and buns, 6%. Prepared frozen food, so a staple of the poor, 2.7%. Categories that experienced double-digit price increases in June are seasonal vegetables. So this stuff is coming into season, so it should be cheaper, right?
This is wild.
32% for tomatoes. Thank God I've got a greenhouse full of tomatoes. Lettuce, 19%. Carrots, 17%. Fresh or frozen beef,
Unreal.
14%. And bananas, which are just sugary potatoes, very starchy. Don't bother eating them. 11.5%.
That's how our family is able to do this. And the truth is, they're not buying. They're not buying those things. They're just not buying those.
They're just
things.
not eating meat because they can't afford it.
No.
You can have prawns though, you guys.
Yeah, because the prices dropped 3.2%.
Right.
One for you, one for you.
You can suck the meat out of the tail of the prawn. Honest to God. People can't afford ground beef and chicken drumsticks, which is like the cheapest of the chicken. People can't afford that. They can't afford lettuce. But yeah, no, the prawns have come down.
Just so
whatever
you know,
percentage point.
You can save the tails of prawns. You can roast them, like roast them so that they're golden and then turn them into a seafood stock. You can do that. So if you're looking to stretch your dollar, Sheila, Gunn, Reid.
Right. That'll offset the fact that tomatoes are worth your firstborn.
Don't even think of it. It's just going to be a BL, not a BLT. Not even, no, look at pork. You just get a B sandwich now. The end.
Yes. And also in Canada being a fallen state, nearly 13,000 people are sleeping in cars and alleys in this country. This is from our friends over at Blacklocks. Yeah, you do that for fun though, not out of necessity.
It's true.
Nearly 13,000 people sleep in cars, alleys, or abandoned buildings nationwide, according to new data by Housing Minister Gregor Robertson's department. The count on homeless people, the most comprehensive to date, found another 4,700 slumped in tent cities. The core enumeration counted 65,000 people experiencing homelessness on a single night across 75 Canadian communities. The largest number, nearly 37,000 people, were in shelters. Another nearly 11,000 were in transitional housing. But didn't you hear? The cost of shrimp came down.
Yes. Good thing.
Good thing we gave those billionaire condo developers a bailout.
Good thing for that, eh? Good thing we imported all of those millions of people and shoved all of these people out onto the streets. But just looking at those numbers, that feels really low to me. That looks really low to me.
I think it's hard to count homeless people.
Well, because they're transient and such,
Right.
because they don't stay in the same place, because often they'll shelter overnight in shelters, but then they're kicked out in the morning, right?
Yep.
So then they go on wandering escapades through our communities, only to end up back at the shelter at night. But that number feels exceptionally low, considering we all have eyeballs and we can all see this happening in our cities. Like Regina, Saskatchewan, who 10 years ago there was less than 100 people, like less than 100 people. Our climate doesn't allow for a full-time outside homelessness. And yet, 10 years after the Liberals took over, we have 1,000 people on the streets, 1,000 people just in Regina. I think that Gregor Robertson's numbers there might be a little bit low.
Well, and that doesn't account for people who are just sleeping on a couch somewhere, right? Like,
sure. And how are they counting people sleeping in vehicles? Because I know that I seek out to sleep in the van. I seek out very, very private areas where nobody is going to encounter me. So what are they? Do they have people in the bushes counting these people sleeping in cars? I think that number is much, much bigger than the government is letting on.
Oh, for sure. And again, how do you count these people? Are you approaching homeless people in their tents? I highly
do your
doubt
census.
that.
Excuse us. Have you done your census?
Right.
Hobo?
Hobo.
hobos and homeless people, have you done your census?
Yeah.
There's penalties to not doing your census.
Right. Right. You'll get a fine. We've got another quick ad read, then I guess we'll do the last chat and then wrap the show. You know what, Lise? Do you want to just quickly look for a cringe so we at least leave on a happy note while I'm doing this ad read?
Yeah, I sure do.
Okay, maybe we'll find something, maybe we won't. But this one is from our friends at Rumble Wallet. We hear a lot about crypto, but here's the part most people miss. Crypto was created so you could actually own and control your money. After the 2008 financial crisis, Bitcoin was designed as an alternative to banks. So instead of a bank holding your money, delaying transfers, or limiting access, you're in control. And if you've ever had to wait for a transfer to clear, you've felt that problem. So now, fast forward to today, everyone's heard of crypto, but getting started still feels complicated. That's exactly why I use Rumble Wallet. It takes all that complexity and makes it simple. Choose what you want: Bitcoin, dollar-backed stable coins, or even digital gold backed by real gold. No complicated setup. It connects with MoonPay, so you can use your credit card, debit card, or bank and be up and running in minutes. And once you're set up, you can even support your favorite Rumble creators, like me, directly. So do this now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap buy, and you're in the game. In just a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some. All right. We've got one. Did you find a cringe?
Yeah, sure did. Put it in the chat.
Okay, perfect. We've got one chat here from iGrocket. It says, welcome back, Lise. We missed you. Here's some foreign influence funds to keep you here.
Thank you, buddy.
She's not going anywhere. I won't have it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we did miss you around here. But thank you to the team who filled in while you were off gallivanting with your family.
Yes, thank you so much to everybody who filled in, and especially during the tech meltdown of 2 weeks ago in Canmore, where I was stuck on the side of a mountain. Okay, Starlink, turns out, listen to this, guys, Starlink can't see the sky when you're on the top of a mountain in the bottom of trees. That was the original problem. Then I screamed into the town of Canmore. And do you think that I could get a reliable power connection? No, I could not. And so I just want to thank everybody behind the scenes at Rebel News who really, really worked overtime to help me in my tech disasters of these last 2 weeks. And I'm really happy to be back. Thank you, guys.
But you did have a delightful time with your family. So
it was the best. Like family immersion is my jam. And there was one time, you guys, there was one time where the children in the back of the van were making such frequent contact with each other in a sibling-like way that we threatened to go to Home Depot and get fridge boxes and partition them in the back of the van. They're teens and preteens. And so if you could imagine, just like literally dozens of hours just in a van singing songs with your parents, that's what my kids had to. They get that.
Did you have to swing wildly at the kids behind you?
The van is so big, I can't reach them. I can't actually reach them. But I have a 3-way mirror that I can supervise. I can just look up and supervise what's going on back there. And yeah, we had to threaten that. But no, they had a great time. We had a great time, and it's great to be back.
I'm the middle one of my siblings. But I am still the smallest. And so when my mom would swing wildly, all she needed to do was connect it with somebody, and then like she would stop swinging and we would stop screaming, right? So being the smallest, they would just shove me. I would get it, and that was it.
The sacrificial slap. It's just the best. It's just the best. Another part of a road trip that I love, because I do believe that road trips are like people immersion. You get to just be in an enclosed space. Is subjecting my husband to my last 1 calendar year of new liked songs on Spotify. Yes. I love doing that. Like being the DJ for it was great. It was just really great. He loved it.
I can actually 100% confirm, because I have gone on many road trips with our CFO, Lyndon, and we are bonded like 2 peas in a pod now.
Trauma bonded.
Yeah. And I've immersed him in my murder podcasts. So he's good now.
He's listening to true crime on the way.
I think only with me, but he doesn't complain. And in fact, I believe he likes it, because he's like, what's the next one? What are those? Who's being killed on that British lady show now?
It's just the best. Anyway, we love road trips around here at Rebel News. We just love them.
Okay, we got the cringe. Lise found it. This is from our friends at Just Bins, the garbage company that does the news. Lise, you could set it up.
So anyway, everybody, it's child tax weekend in Canada, which means
people are acting up.
Downtowns across the nation, people got a little bit of money in them, got a little bit of liquor in them, and then this is what happens. Okay, so this
Things
is just
got
a
Western.
Saturday night in downtown Regina, which is why, incidentally, why nobody wants to go to downtown Regina. Go ahead. This is it.
Okay. Then go call it over.
Oh, this is embarrassing. Like when you're oh no. So when you're so this is typical downtown
behavior. Yeah.
Oh, those girls dressed up for a night on the town. Did you see them? They were in their I mean, they were in their short skirts, they had their heels on, and then at the end of the night,
Lord above.
So this is why the cringe, okay? This is what I saw it earlier and I was like, this is not nobody is going to want to. They're in a bath. Are they?
Oh my God. Like that man is going to do anything. He's like, nope.
They just push him out the door. So anyway, child tax weekend in Canada, real fun for everybody involved. And that is your daily cringe. Say, do you think that you should be able to get child tax benefit if you go out and behave like this in the evening off instead of buying diapers and staying home?
Do you know what? Just let us keep more of our own money. And do not transfer my money to other people so that they can do this. Just let me keep more of my own money. Don't send me money back, cycled through the hands of 100 bureaucrats and then given back to me or these people.
There you go. There you go. Anyway,
That's
our
what I
thanks
want.
to Just Bins for posting news as it's happening in Regina. They really took a kicking online for reporting on that accident before the RCMP had made a statement. But if the RCMP wanted to be... if the RCMP wanted to be first, they could have been easily. Another part of that story that I'm just thinking of right now is the alleged gas theft at the co-op occurred right across the street from the local RCMP detachment. Literally, you could wave for help from the Lumsden co-op to the Lumsden RCMP detachment. So thanks for letting me just get that off my chest.
Got it. All right. So we're back again tomorrow. Thanks to everybody who worked hard to put the show together. Efron, Olivia, that's you. Thanks to everybody who makes the show available to you wherever you want to watch it, Rumble, YouTube. Thanks to those of you who share and interact with our content. It's very helpful, actually. It gets us higher up in the algorithms. Those of you who pitch in a little bit to keep the lights on here at Rebel News. And, of course, to my friend, my best friend, Lise Merle. Thanks for coming back.
Oh, well, I mean, where else would I be, Sheila Gunn, Reid?
Exactly. Good answer.
It's great. It's great to be here. And we'll be back tomorrow with another exciting episode of the Rebel Roundup. Yes, where we concentrate on Western issues. So get ready, guys.
Get ready. Buffalo panel tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. And as we always say on the show here, if you find us offensive, maybe don't find us at all.
It can't always be Ontario. It has to be a Team Canada approach. And that's my message to my great friends, my premier friends, that we have to be united. As I always say, united we stand, divided we fall. Okay, I'm just... Who's not carrying their weight? It just seems like Ontario's always out there, no matter if it's electricity or if it's alcohol or anything else. In manufacturing, Ontario's getting hurt the most in these tariffs. Right across the... No, it's not because of the alcohol ban. This is a broader issue of tariffs right across the board. You know, he wants to continue threatening, and he's nothing but a bully. That's all he is. And you have to stand up to the bullies in the schoolyard or they end up taking your lunch money. And we are going to continue fighting like we've never fought before.